Okay, I think we've got everybody on here. So I'll do a quick introduction. As Joanne and I were talking a little bit about some of the best ways to introduce Joanne to our congregation, and particularly those that might not know Joanne as well. We talked about a couple of mechanisms, and Joanne, this was actually your idea to have the youth, which today is Sophia and Oliver, do an interview and ask you some questions. So if I was good enough to press the record button properly, I'm going to hand it over to Oliver, and he's going to start. And the two of them have put these questions together on their own, and appreciate you joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Sounds good.
Oliver, we'll let you kick things off.
All right, thank you very much. So, Joanne, I want to ask you for my first question. For me, as somebody who's only 13, church is definitely, growing into a big thing. So I want to ask you, during your teenage years, were you actively involved in church and religion?
Absolutely, I was. I was very actively involved in church. You'll have to admit, I'm sure you know that times have changed a little bit with declining church and not as many teens in church. So
Sure.
I was part of a pretty big youth group, and it was actually at a church in Penfield. Um, and it was really good for me. Part of the thing that was really good for me about that, Oliver, that I feel for the two of you, is that it offered me a separate peer group.
Hmm.
So I had a peer group at school. I had a community peer group around my house, and they pretty much went to Catholic school. And then I lived in a predominantly German neighborhood, and pretty much all of the friends in my neighborhood went to Catholic school. So I had one set of friends at home. I had another set of friends at school. I had another set of friends at church. Um, and it kind of kept me balanced. Sometimes the icky stuff that happens in your peer group at school, you had somebody else to kind of check that out with and talk to about it. So
Yes, definitely. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Sophie.
Okay, do you have a favorite memory from your experience in youth group and or Sunday school?
my favorite memory, I would say I have two. I had a really cool high school Sunday school teacher, and she taught science in the city, and she was very open, and she let us ask whatever questions we wanted to ask, and it was a safe place for us. So that's one of my really good memories. And then because of her, when I was in high school, I started helping teach the seventh grade class, Sunday school class. And there's something about having to teach somebody else something, as you both know, that helps you even learn more about it and think of different things, right? Different questions, different experiences. So those would be my two.
Okay, Oliver, you can go now.
All right. So, kind of building on the first two questions, I kind of want to ask you in depth, along with that, what inspired you to get into the work of ministry?
I got to college and I was pre-med. And a professor talked me out of it. And I'd taken all of the sciences and the advanced placement and all of that. And it's a long story. I'm not going to tell the whole story because, you don't need to hear the whole thing. But anyway, so then I started taking, your basic general first year college classes after that. And I loved my religion and theology classes. I loved studying them. And then I got into a group of women that were um, wanting to go to seminary. And at that point in that church, they couldn't be ministers. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were like a support group for each other. And then when I originally thought about going to seminary, my father died when I was pretty young. and he had cancer. And so I thought I wanted to be a hospice chaplain. And I have been trained in hospice since I've been a minister, but I also found that I really like working in the church, not just hospitals.
All right, that is awesome. Very good to hear how you kind of went up the path and kind of ended up where you are. All right, back to Sophia.
So this is a little bit off topic, but if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Oh, a dog for sure. I have 2 dogs. I'm a dog lover. My friends tease me about how much I love dogs. And one of my friends calls me a Saint Bernard. She says I have a personality of a Saint Bernard. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, Sophia, but I have friends that have Saint Bernards and I love them. So it might not be a bad thing. Can I ask what you two would be? What animal would you be?
I'd probably also be a dog, like a golden retriever, probably.
Uh-huh. They're very calm and smart and loving. Nice dog. How about you, Oliver?
I would also be a dog, as somebody who has a dog as well. Great, great animal, and love playing and stuff. I would be a mini golden doodle, just like my dog.
Okay, they're pretty smart too.
Yeah.
Golden doodles, yeah. And my daughter, I have little dogs. I have Maltese Shih Tzus, 2 little ones, and but my daughter has a Doberman that's lovely. Yeah, cool.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so now we know your favorite and special animal. I want to ask you if you have a special place that you like to go to, maybe to take, a brain break or relax or just reflect on the day in general.
I love to swim. So we have an above ground pool that I go in, even like I was in it Saturday and it was 68. Um, and if I can go anywhere and I have the time, I go to the Lake
Mm,
Ontario. I love
great
the
place.
winter time. Yeah. I love sitting by the water. I love listening to it. I like walking in it. It's just, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, my last question is, have you ever been on a missions trip? If so, can you tell us about it? And if not, what missions do you like to support in other ways?
I have been on a mission trip. It's been a while. And we went to a place in Newark, New Jersey, a very long time ago. It's the last time I've actually been on one. I support many missions in the city. I support RAIN. It's a new name. It's called Family of Promise. It's for people that have become families that have become homeless, and churches. It started with churches housing them part-time and giving them meals, and now they're putting them in apartments. I've done Habitat. I have a lot of love for Habitat, the organization. I think it uses its money and people well, and it provides just such a wonderful end result, and you work towards it like you're part of the process. I support food shelves in like 3 different places, and um, Cameron. I've been a supporter of Cameron for a long time.
Thank you.
Well,
Has First
Sophia,
Baptist done a mission trip with you two at all?
We have not been in the youth group since there has been a mission trip. I know there have been a few, but of course, I don't even think we were born or in the church or even in the youth group when they took place. But I do know there have been a few, yeah.
I have a couple of questions for you. Is that okay, Mr. Hood?
sure.
So what would be the most important thing for you? Quality or skill or personality trait in your next pastor?
that is a great question, Joanne. I have been at First Baptist through about 3 ministers at this point, and they all bring so many great qualities to the table. But I feel that one quality and skill that could be brought to the table is mindfulness. Of course, we do prayer, which is, of course, sort of mindfulness, but also taking it a little bit deeper, closing our eyes and just taking a moment to look at us and look at God, just in a way, with you in your body.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. And how about you, Sophia?
I would probably look for somebody who would like lead us and talk to like the kids and like specifically like make a safe space for the children too. I mean the whole congregation, but really look at the children too. And somebody who could like build a relationship with all the people and yeah.
Do you feel like you're seen and heard at church?
Yes, I definitely do. Um, I've been part of a few things at church and lots of positive feedback from everybody, and everybody, knows me and cares for me. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome that you feel cared for at church. I love that. How about you, Oliver?
I agree. Definitely. It is very great to see people at church and they're always saying hi, waving. It's really great to see the congregation is, taking a moment to, talk with the young people, and also for us to do the same. Our church congregation, we all have very unique abilities, but it's really great for us to come together and just talk. And of course, that's why we have things like coffee hour, and we can, chat and have snacks. And it's definitely, I believe that we are included. And if you don't know already, I happen to be part of the tech team, so that is also another way that us as youth or younger worshipers are included.
Awesome. Nice. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Joanne.
It's a lot of fun.
I look forward to working with you both.
Yes, same here.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and we'll look forward to posting this for everybody to take a look at. And Joanne, in particular, we look forward to seeing you and learning more about you on Candidates Weekend on October 1st and 2nd.
Sounds
So,
good.
until then.
Okay.
Have a great
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too.